Hello, this is Daniel. I'm putting together my 21st Century Digital Writing Social Media Roundup. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be here today. I'm actually getting my tooth extracted. It would have been yesterday. Um, and I felt because of the amount of medication I'd be under, which would make me really loopy, and also the amount of pain I would be in, it'd probably be best that I waited 48 hours before I went back to school. So, in light of that, I wanted to, because it was my job to put together the social media roundup, I thought that I would actually do it by YouTube video. So, I thank Professor Partridge for being so gracious and letting me do this today. So let me get started here. I wanted to first say I went over the various blogs, and with one exception, most of what was said was, with a couple of exceptions, most of what was said was actually about the hypertext. So let me get right to that. First, the first thing that I'm actually going over is actually about poetry. I read Queenie Pyre's poem about feelings, and it really kind of struck an accord with me. I like the fact that Queenie actually uses non-traditional punctuation and capitalization for his poems. I think that it's nice to have a poem that isn't typical, if that makes sense. I like the use of thinking outside the box when you write a poem. I think that helps. What he wrote was actually about feelings. I just wanted to say that I like it. Seems like what was important to him when I read this poem was authenticity. It's very true that we are often numb to our emotions. Our journey is to be authentic and truly feel. I like that. So again, thank you so much. It was very well done, and I appreciated it. Now, let me go on to the next. I was going to go over Jennifer Meira's post. I just felt like it was inappropriate for me to further comment about her short story, which she recently posted, because it's something actually I'm already reading as part of my short story workshop. So I thought I would just I'd pass over that, but again, I do appreciate reading that. She's really really an excellent writer, and if you read it, she has a really quirky, fun way of describing things. So again, thank you very much, Jennifer. So on to Hayley Calabro. Let me read first the quote that I took from her blog, because it just really stuck out to me. She said, "I love the idea of hypertext, maybe for classroom situations, but in general, they might not be that practical. If we can't extend ourselves past reading 140 characters, then I seriously doubt that we'll be able to click a link to go to another page to do even more reading. That may or may not be my attention span. But there is evidence across the board that we all have trouble reading over 2 pages of material online." Now, I can certainly understand what she's talking about. We don't want to burden people with more information than they want to read. However, on the same side, there's people that really do enjoy reading further into a subject. I'm one of those people that sort of enjoys getting into things and reading what some other people might think is inconsequential information. So sometimes those links can actually be fun for me. But I think on the other hand I think Hayley was limiting what a hypertext could be, because in some cases, yes, it could be a traditional description. And let's say if you're writing about bluebirds, you could go into a whole description, a scholarly description about the behavior of bluebirds, where you can find them, and so forth. But there's another element, which is actually seeing video. And I think that's the one thing I think she perhaps didn't take into consideration, is that actually video can actually enliven a piece. So even though a person's attention span may not be that long, is actually having that video can actually engage that person's interest even further. So I think sometimes we can actually think outside the box, so to speak. Now, on to Felix Helmsworth's. I read Felix's blog about hypertext, and I think she mentioned, accurate I might add, that the only place she usually sees hypertext is in a syllabus. I am thinking that this may be an underused tool. I would like to see people explore creativity in a more in-depth manner with hypertext. So I think I see where she's talking about, is that it's almost like we don't see it, but perhaps it should be used more. So good point there. On to Rebecca Curtis. She says here, and let me give you her quote. I think hypertext could be effective with an audience of readers because it is so engaging. If hypertext can get the user to click, interact, question, and want to find out more, then it's a great addition to the digital writer's tool belt. It adds another dimension to the work and visually entices the reader to find out more while attracting the eye. And I really like that Becky felt more open to the use of hypertext compared to other people. She saw hypertext as adding further dimensions to the digital writer's work, so well done there. I also just wanted to add a couple more comments. I actually had a chance to look at a couple things on Twitter. First, I saw Brian Partridge's piece. I liked what he had to say about editing as both killing your story and bringing it back to life. That was real. I like that analogy. I think that many of us are reluctant to receive constructive criticism. Often we are possessive over what we have written. However, that a criticism can actually breathe new life into what we've written. So I think that's important to actually look into further. So any critique that we receive, I think it's important that we not look at it as a failure, but rather as a chance to even improve even further, and that we can even make something even better. So I really like that. Thank you. Last of all, I just wanted to add a personal element. I read through Linda Ray's. I looked at Linda Ray's Twitter account, and I thought it was really cute that she showed that picture of her 3 dogs. I think one was a pit bull mix, another a collie, and there was a third breed that I couldn't figure out. They just look like real sweethearts. So again, thank you so very much, Linda. Now, hopefully, I just wanted to add, hopefully I'll be able to take any questions you have via Skype. I'm hoping that'll work out. And again, thank you so very much. This is Daniel, and have a good rest of your day.